So, you want to make a good first impression, huh? Perhaps you're looking for a seductive and cool approach, or maybe you just want your crush to like you. Well, first impressions can make a difference. According to a study published in the Journal of Social Psychological and Personality Science, first impressions from a photograph of someone can influence another's judgment of them even after they've met. So, how can you make your first impression leave a lasting mark? Nothing to fear. In no time, you'll learn the psychological tricks and seductive traits that will make your first impression not only a good one, but a great one. 1. Emotional responsiveness. As shown by research, one of the most alluring traits to bring out during a first impression is that of emotional responsiveness. It's how you respond to the negative emotions that can set you apart from others. Many partners want to see that you show concern for their welfare. Do you react well in emotionally distressing times? If you make great eye contact, give good advice, and comfort your partner for the benefit of their well-being, they may just find that trait alone extremely attractive. In a 2012 study conducted by researchers Birnbaum and Rice, subjects discussed a negative experience with an unfamiliar participant of the opposite sex. They then rated the partner's responsiveness and their sexual desire for them. Researchers found that responsive partners were seen as more sexually desirable. This was especially true for subjects who were described as more comfortable with sexual intimacy. 2. Become more novel and mysterious. Are you mysterious? Many individuals love to explore and be entertained by mystery. Why do you think we're so addicted to mystery dramas and seek out exciting new entertainment on the internet? We're always looking for the next best thing to draw our attention. When someone possesses a trait of novelty, many can be drawn to them. How are you interesting and new? Spice up your life with new destinations, hobbies, and experiences. Then show your partner the many sides of you, while also leaving the hint of mystery. What could be next? 3. Wear red. If you want to appear seductive and make a good impression, wear red. In an experiment conducted by researchers Daniela Niesta-Kaiser, Andrew J. Elliott, and Roger Feltman, published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, researchers found that men are more likely to be attracted to the color red on women. In the experiment, men were tasked with asking women questions. Some women were clothed in red, while others in green. The men chose to ask the women in red more amorous questions. And in a second experiment, men chose to sit closer to women in red versus women in blue. As the research paper states, research shows for the first time that color influences men's behavior toward women in the romantic realm. Color, specifically red, appears to serve as a basic, non-lexical prime that can influence important reproduction-relevant behavior in similar fashion across species. 4. Imagine them already liking you. We tend to imagine the worst-case scenario when meeting someone new and exciting. Instead, flip it around. If you imagine your date already liking you, you'll relax, gain confidence, and reflect positive vibes. You should give out good energy. So, if you're already anxious and worried, ruminating about what could go wrong, then that has a chance to give off negative energy. Instead, treat them as a familiar person who likes you, as long as you still keep it respectable. 5. Actively listen and make good eye contact. One of the most important qualities in a partner? Someone who can actively listen. This can be a very alluring trait. Harvard researchers discovered that taking the time to talk about yourself can have many rewards. In one of the 5 studies, subjects sat in an fMRI machine and responded to questions about either their own opinions on a subject or another's. Regions of the brain associated with reward and motivation were most active while talking about their own thoughts on a subject, as opposed to others. This need to talk about ourselves is so strong that in another study conducted by Harvard researchers, some subjects even declined money to talk about themselves more. 6. Use a floral fragrance. One of the most important parts of a first impression? Scent. So, if you smell like a greasy pillowcase, odds are you won't get that second date. It's best to look your best and look sharp. And when choosing a scent, research has found floral odors promote social interaction and the behavior to approach someone socially. Research from Rutgers University found that subjects used 3 times as many happiness-related words to write on life events when a floral scent was in the air, in contrast to when there was no fragrance present. 7. Use their name often. People love the sound of their own names, and they may not realize it. We speak out someone's name to gain their attention. You can do this mid-conversation as well to bring their gaze back to you. We can even pinpoint our name spoken out of a crowded room. This form of selective attention is related to the cocktail party effect. At a party, for example, we can hone in on a specific conversation of our choosing. More importantly, if our name is spoken nearby, even when we are focused on another conversation, we immediately perk up and recognize that someone is talking about us. So slide in their name during a first impression. That is, if you know it. 8. Listen and repeat their phrases. People like them. Geez, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Science suggests your odds of someone liking you will increase if you use the same words they use. And if you catch on to their unique phrases, throw them in again at the end of your conversation or next meeting. It hints you are actively listening and care to learn about them. 9. Start with a confident presence and good posture. Confidence is key, and we can all work towards raising our confidence through positive thoughts and self-love. It's important to respect, value, and care for yourself in order to increase your confidence. Once you do, you need to show it. Practice maintaining good posture and a confident presence. Maintaining good eye contact has been known to help in first impressions. Think about why you desire someone. Maybe you know nothing about them, but they simply give off an attractive vibe. Because looks aside, an attractive presence is everything. Reflect on how you present yourself, your behavior, your posture, and determine if it reflects who you are. If it does, stay true to you, and the person of your dreams will like you for who you are, good posture or not. 10. Focus on a common passion. It's your first meeting. Your mind is blank. You can't think of anything to talk about. When in doubt, discover what it is you're both passionate about in life. This will drive the conversation forward in a natural way. We can't help but light up with a big smile when we talk about our passions. So, if the conversation seems to be dwindling too soon, ask them what they enjoy. Discover their passions and discuss it fast. It may just leave a lasting impression, and if you implement all these tips, it may just be a seductive impression at that. So,
party when you notice a very attractive individual is looking your way. You're not the best at conversation starters and pickup lines. Deep down, you just wish the person you admire would make their way over to you. How can you grab their attention and attract them to do so? Well, there are a few ways. Here's how to attract someone without saying anything. Number 1, show you're open to talking by using open body language. People approach others more easily if they simply look, well, approachable. Show you're open to dating them with a bit of open body language. Dr. Monica Moore, a psychologist at Weber University in St. Louis, has conducted research on the flirting techniques used in singles bars, shopping malls, and places young people go to meet each other. Author Nicholas Boothman writes in his book, How to Make Someone Fall in Love with You in 90 Minutes or Less. The author notes that psychologist Dr. Monica Moore found that it's not always the good-looking who get approached the most, but the ones who signal their availability and confidence through basic flirting techniques, like eye contact and smiles. Just signaling your interest in someone gets you halfway there. Keep your chest and torso open and try not to cross your arms as much. Closed body language can give off the impression you aren't available or simply don't want to talk. So maintain confidence and open body language, and when you notice someone looking at you, don't shy away. Simply respond with a smile. Number 2, maintain good grooming and dress to impress. Dressing nice and being well groomed is an easy way to get someone to notice you. It can be admirable to see someone very well put together. And having great hygiene is an attractive quality in and of itself. Express who you are by wearing what makes you feel confident and happy. If you feel like you'll probably feel more comfortable and approachable to others. Number 3, look into their eyes and maintain good eye contact. So, your crush just looked your way and now you've met their gaze. Maintain good eye contact and don't be afraid to smile back. Harvard psychologist Zick Rubin conducted a study where he recorded how much time lovers would spend looking into each other's eyes. He found that individuals who were not in love looked at each other 30 to 60% of the time, while couples deeply in love stared into each other's eyes 75% of the time when talking. When someone else entered the room or interrupted them, they were much slower to turn away from their partner's gaze. So it's best to meet their gaze as opposed to turning away quickly. If you're both in a group discussion, meeting their eyes every now and then may key them into the idea that you find them attractive. When you do approach them, try to look into their eyes 75% of the time when you're talking. The brain remembers the last time someone they loved stared at them in the same way. They will associate this stare with feelings of love. Why? Well, this lovely memory causes a release of phenylethylamine, which is known as a love drug. Phenylethylamine is released in the brain when someone falls in love. The chemical, too, mimics the brain chemistry of someone who is deeply in love. Number 4. Smile. Feel like smiling? Let those pearly whites show. A study published in the Bulletin of the Psychonomic Society found smiling might just make you more attractive. According to the study, women in the experiment who smiled 70% of the time were seen as more interpersonally attractive than a woman who seldom smiled. So remember to give a gentle smile when you do meet their eyes. Number 5. Join a club they're in and try activities they enjoy. So how else can you attract someone? Let's say you have a crush on a classmate. You notice they're part of the school band. Pick up some sheet music and get practicing on that tuba. Maybe they could teach you a few measures of their favorite piece. The thing is, our brains are motivated to spend more time around those we like, so we might as well do so by engaging in a hobby with them. According to dating psychologist Madeline Mason Rowntree, the reward system in our brains can increase our motivation to spend more time with whoever we like. If we enjoy being around them, why wouldn't we want to hang out with them more? She explains that you may just start to crave their presence. It's not uncommon for people to take up hobbies or enroll in activities that their crush is part of to be closer to them, even if they weren't initially into the hobby or activity itself before. Rowntree explains, it also gives you something else you can talk to them about, and perhaps it's a way to entice them to get closer to you. So once you discuss with them their hobbies and clubs, invite them to try your activities that you love as well. And number 6, hang out with a group of friends. Research shows that people tend to find others more attractive when they're in groups rather than on their own. This idea is called the cheerleader effect and has been proven through tests by psychologists to be consistent. Researchers Edward Vull and Drew Walker of the University of California, San Diego conducted 5 experiments where subjects would rate people based on photographs of them. They found that subjects rated people more attractive when they were pictured in a group of the same gender compared to an individual photograph of someone pictured alone. As the study suggests, individual faces will seem more attractive when presented in a group because they'll appear more similar to the average group face, which is more attractive than group members' individual faces. So if you see a charming individual at that party, it might be worth it to get them to notice you first while you're chatting with a group of friends. Just make sure you're alone or approachable at one point so they have a better chance to approach you. And once they lock onto your eyes, don't shy away. Uncross your arms, give them a smile, and remember to wear deodorant when you do go out on that date. Because you will ask them out on a date, right? You have to talk to them at some point. We believe in you. You got this. So